everyone, welcome to the final part of my tiny home village speed build. If you haven't seen them already, parts 1 and 2 will be linked in the description, or you can go check out my playlist. It has all my speed builds that I've made so far. But yeah, just beginning with the cafe here, I went with this color scheme that kind of reminded me of a really famous cafe in Florida and Tampa called Oxford Exchange. In reality, it looks nothing like this, so if you've been there, I'm sorry, but that's not what you're getting. But yeah, I spent a lot of time decorating the interior of this. I put a ton of pictures everywhere to simulate how cafes will sometimes have local artist paintings to sell. I do skip a lot of this decorating part though because it took me ages to find all the paintings I wanted, and if you're actually playing in this, which you can actually do so because if you go to the gallery right now, you can download it from my gallery page under natty_cookie without the E, or by searching #CookieSims. But yeah, you can replace those paintings with paintings that your actual sim makes and sell them here, change it to a retail lot and do that. Or you can of course play it as a cafe. If you do download it, there's one thing I do have to say, is that because of all the items that are in the whole lot, as in like in each tiny home, this whole lot will lag. So you can always just delete some of the furniture or the decor and other parts of the build that you're not using, and it should work perfectly fine. So with this corner house, I start by doing the layout, which is actually 2-bed, 2-bath, and it incorporates a game room that one of you guys actually requested in the comments of the last video. You can always change that room into anything you'd like, of course, any type of skill your Sims might be doing, or even like a toddler room, but it is a very small room. And one of the challenges with this house is that besides the annoyance of the stairs that happens in each one of these tiny homes, there was a tiny triangle because everything's on a diagonal. There's a tiny triangle on the second floor where the stairs are, which I couldn't fill up, so it took me ages to figure it out, but I essentially just put a plant there, but that's not in the video. I didn't want to bore you with that. As you can see, I end up making that left side outside triangle into a balcony instead of trying to deal with a roof. That roof has been notorious for being awful to deal with. So yeah, just made it into a little balcony. And with the whole house, I wanted to feel a bit more traditional, as in the color scheme is very beige and white and feels a bit more realistic than a lot of the other builds. Very plain sometimes, I guess you could say. And the kitchen is functional, by the way, even though it's under the stairs and this center island, which was very annoying just because everything was on a diagonal, so everything has to be placed with move objects because of it. So if you do download this house, make sure to have the move objects cheat on, or you might end up having some things turn up in the wrong place or disappear, especially when I get to the decor by the bay window. Those plants will not survive without move objects, which is honestly, it tracks with my actual ability to keep plants. There is one currently dying in my living room right now, but yeah. So the living room is a little small, or cozy as you might say, and you can see me start placing those plants by the window. They actually had to be done twice because when I first did it, I didn't realize that there was a very large gap between the plants and the actual bottom of the window, but I've cut that out so you don't have to deal with me struggling and feel my pain. But I think it looks nice in the end. So this is a nice little reading nook, reading corner, and eventually it is also a home to an easel, but I love those tiny living armchairs and the furniture. I know I said last time that you should get fitness stuff for all the decor, but for real, the tiny living pack is my favorite, so spend your money there. I promise it's worth it. This is a nice little half bath. I guess I don't have much to say about it. You can see me trying to fit that nice eco lifestyle plant, but the leaves kept clipping, so I changed it to my default get together plant. And then in the upstairs bathroom, I wanted so badly to put a fancy tub, but it just wouldn't be functional, so I abandoned that thought and kept some plants in that corner, which I guess is every sim builder's answer to empty corners. And then finally in the game room, I made it dark, and honestly it's pretty cramped in there. You don't really get any use of that bay window because I did not want to have to go through the trouble of putting plants in there like last time. But I took a little inspiration from pretty much every Instagram gamer setup. And my brother's music room back home. We had like a nice little futon in there just for guests, and I thought it'd be cool for the teenager in this house to hang out with his friends here. I put some posters everywhere, as you can see, some of those hexagonal shells from bowling stuff, I think it is, and a lot of like decor in there. Something I haven't mentioned yet is that I imagine the people in this house to be a single mom and her teenage son. So with the bedrooms, I kind of kept that as a decoration inspiration or a scheme. Is it a scheme? I don't know. But that's kind of what I was going with in my head. And as you will probably tell, I had a lot more fun with decorating the teens room than I did with the mom's room, since you'll see how boring the mom's room is. It's very plain. But to be honest, it's just hard when there's not a solid theme or vision for something, so I just kind of left it like that. So this little outside is pretty simple. There's just a bike, some flowers, and a false balcony has some flowers too. I imagine the teen gets his plant obsession from his mom, as you do. I just hope he has a greener thumb than I do. But moving on to the mother's room, as I said, very simple, a little bit outdated from the furniture and the bedding. But to be honest, at this point I was losing a bit of steam and was running out of ideas, so I couldn't picture what to put in this room at all. If you have any better ideas on what to decorate this with, you can go ahead, download it, change it up, brag about it if you want in the comments. I won't be too mad. I won't be mad at all, actually. I fully understand it's kind of lame, so go for it. Right, and so I'm just doing the last bits of decorating downstairs, adding some rugs everywhere, some art, adding that easel I talked about earlier. And then, you know what? It hit me and I thought maybe this is the lady that's selling her art to the cafe next door. If you want to play that way, that'd be awesome. I think that's a cool way to play. But yeah, nothing too special down here anymore. And now moving on to the next one. So with this one, I initially was starting off with a similar vibe from the last house, and then wanting to go with my whole thing of making every house different, and realizing that pretty much every house in here is suited to more of like a feminine, or like a traditionally feminine type of vibe or decoration sense, which makes sense since I am female and that is pretty much my aesthetic in real life. So I decided to switch it up a little bit and make it a more, I guess, traditionally masculine vibe. I'm not sure if I'd pull it off though. I honestly don't know. Just let me know in the comments what you think about this one. I basically went with a lot of black, some modern touches, a little bit of an industrial thing with the light that's in the bottom floor, but the men that I know don't live like this, so I really don't know. You know, and at one point I actually got a little like inspired by How I Met Your Mother's Barney Stinson. Not in really like a big way, but in his office he has these inspirational posters, and I try to put some of them on the second floor up here, but it just doesn't work out, so I end up leaving it blank without any painting at all. So I just basically ran away from that idea. It just looks so tacky. With the bathroom, it's the same layout as with the first few tiny homes that I fixed after playtesting, and instead of a mirror in the bathroom, I put that weird comic blurb mirror outside of the bathroom. There's not much room on that balcony, but the little chair and the little table I put there were fine in that corner, and later I do move the grill to the bottom floor since that just makes more sense and there was much more room down there. And then the last house is the witchy one. It's my favorite exterior. I'm not sure if it's my favorite interior, but I expanded the top floor there so that there's an actual place for a room. I use a ladder and a hidden bookshelf, a fancy fireplace, some fancy floors, and I gave it a bit of a pink vibe everywhere. I wanted the impression to be like, oh, like she's just normal in a strange house, but no, she's still a witch and she's definitely hiding something. Also, I decided to give the witch a cat. Although cats can't go up ladders, so it'll have to stay on the ground floor, which is kind of upsetting, but it gets a full range of the entire floor, so I think a cat would like that. I don't know, I don't have any cats, I'm actually allergic, so we'll never find out. I think what I do next though is my favorite part of the build. Basically, I knew I wanted some light by the door, so I used those vanity wall lights that really should have a mirror inside it by default, or at least have one that would fit inside it so it's actually functional, but of course that doesn't exist. So I've taken a corkboard and a smaller mirror and placed them in there, and I love it. It's probably something that I'll do again in other builds. So yeah, just quickly jumped upstairs and placed a bed, you know, dresser, keeping the pink theme. And I put that cute cloud mirror up there. I put some herbs outside, or I think they're herbs. I put the scaled down cauldron, which works really great. I actually brought my sim here and she was able to make some mac and cheese in it just fine. I gave the witch some knitting materials, a guitar. I think this is the build that has the most diversity in regards to skill building. You can always add stuff to other ones, but this is the default. And then finally, the very last building is the community / town hall building. It's just really functional, but it's kind of nice. Just put some lights, some chairs, a little bit of decor, and yeah, that is pretty much it. And then outside, I'm pretty much finished with the build. I go and do some final touches on the outside, add some lights, and spend way too long landscaping, which don't worry is not in the build. But yeah, I'm just gonna skip this and dive into some screenshots. Like always, leave a comment to let me know what you want to see next. It doesn't actually have to just be a build video or even The Sims related. Just let me know, and with that, thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. If you do like the video, click a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.